Hormat Strategic Program Director British Council Indonesia, Ibu Aris Sutyani, dan yang terhormat Kepala Departemen Sepak Bola PSSI, Ibu Dr. Papat Yunisal, SPD MPD, yang terhormat Sekretaris Jenderal ASBWI, Ibu Sora Fatna Al-Hadar, yang terhormat Premier Skills Coach Educator India, Miss Tanas Mohammed, dan yang terhormat Premier Skills Head Coach from Premier League, Mr. Adania. Sebelumnya saya infokan, mohon maaf karena keterlambatan, karena kita baru saja menyelesaikan sesi diskusi di sesi 1 tadi. Baik, perkenalkan, nama saya Aldi, saya kali ini memandu webinar jalannya hadiah webinar. Pada webinar kali ini kami sudah menyiapkan interpreter berbahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris dan juga juru bicara isyarat. Dan demi kelancaran acara, diharapkan peserta yang tergabung via Zoom untuk mengikuti house rules yang telah ditetapkan sebagai berikut. Dimohon pada saat masuk ke Zoom meeting untuk para peserta untuk klik join audio, lalu para peserta dapat mute mikrofon bila sedang tidak berbicara dan selalu menyalakan video selama meeting berjalan. Mohon untuk mengakses Zoom dari koneksi internet yang stabil, dan bila mengakses Zoom meeting ini berdekatan dengan laptop atau gawai lain untuk dapat menggunakan headset, karena bila tidak dapat menyebabkan gaung atau feedback. Dan yang terakhir, mohon dipastikan telah mengunduh atau menggunakan aplikasi Zoom terkini agar interpretasi yang tersedia di aplikasi Zoom Bapak Ibu bisa bekerja secara maksimal. Baik, langsung saja. Sebelumnya kita little bit introduction, pengenalan terlebih dahulu mengenai webinar hari ini. Webinar ini merupakan program kolaborasi antara British Council, PSSI, dan ASBWI dengan menghadirkan panelis-panelis dari Indonesia, India, dan UK untuk berbagi pengalaman dan pembelajaran dari kegiatan Premier Skills yang telah dijalankan di Indonesia dalam mendukung sepak bola wanita Indonesia. Sebagai informasi, Premier Skills adalah program kemitraan global antara British Council dan Premier League, di mana kami menggunakan kekuatan inspirasional sepak bola untuk memperkuat coach dan wasit di komunitas, guna mengembangkan keterampilan dan kepercayaan diri bagi anak-anak muda termarginalisasi di dunia. Premier Skills sendiri di Indonesia telah dijalankan sejak tahun 2010, dan webinar kali ini dirancang sebagai rangkaian kegiatan penutup program Premier Skills yang bertujuan membagikan pembelajaran dari Premier Skills dalam mendukung sepak bola wanita. Berikut kami tampilkan spesial video dari kegiatan Premier Skills Introduction to Community Coach di bulan Agustus 2022 lalu di Bali. Selamat menyaksikan.
Biasanya dipanggil Adel atau Gita. Saya adalah salah satu dari coach educator from Premier Skill, dan saya bersama 3 teman saya yaitu Coach Hanu, Coach Fauzi, dan Coach Gilbert sedang memimpin pelatihan Introduction to Community Coaching di Bali dari tanggal 3 hingga 4 Agustus 2022. Ini kali pertama kita mengadakan pelatihan khususnya di Bali dengan 49 orang wanita. Pengalaman saya sangat cukup luar biasa karena antusias mereka, kehebatan mereka, pengalaman-pengalaman mereka yang didapatkan dan di-sharingkan di dalam kelas.
Ya, dalam kegiatan ini yang paling saya kesankan pertama teknik cara mengajar atau melatih melalui sepak bola, khususnya di sepak bola wanita, terutama bagaimana teknik-teknik dasar sepak bola, menggiring, ada mengoper dengan teknik yang jujur belum pernah saya temukan, belum saya pernah dapatkan. Walaupun basic saya adalah pendidikan olahraga, saya juga baru menemukan pelatihan yang menarik ini, nyaman dilakukan, kemudian happy. Yang paling penting adalah happy. Tepuk tangan dulu semua.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Maulina Noviliani. Saya bekerja di PSSI sebagai staf sepak bola wanita. PSSI bekerja sama dengan British Council dan Premier League. Berada di daerah Bali untuk mengembangkan sepak bola wanita lewat komunitas, dan antusiasnya sangat baik sekali. Di sini ada 49 peserta, di mana mereka antusias sekali. Kita membahas tentang gender dan tentang sepak bola wanita. Jadi di sini mereka ingin sekali mengembangkan sepak bola wanita di daerahnya masing-masing. Dan juga kita bisa mensosialisasikan kepada masyarakat bahwa sepak bola wanita juga ada dan bisa dimainkan di mana saja. Jadi tidak tentang fasilitas, jadi kita juga bisa melihat sarana prasarana apa aja sih yang bisa kita manfaatkan. Salah satunya di Bali ini adalah pantai.
Baik, itulah tadi sebuah cuplikan video dari kegiatan Premier Skills di Bali yang dilaksanakan di tahun lalu. Dan untuk agenda selanjutnya, Bapak-bapak, Ibu-ibu, kita langsung saja ke acara panel sharing dengan panelis-panelis yang sudah hadir bersama kita. Pertama, kita perkenalkan dulu dari PSSI yang sudah bersama kita dari tadi siang, Ibu Dr. Papat Yunisal SPD MPD sebagai Kepala Departemen Sepak Bola Wanita PSSI. Tepuk tangan untuk Ibu Papat. Selanjutnya sudah bergabung bersama kita via Zoom meeting, Ibu Soraya Farina Al-Hadar sebagai Sekretaris Jenderal ASBWI Asosiasi Sepak Bola Wanita Indonesia. Lalu ada Miss Tanas Mohammed sebagai Premier Skills Coach Educator India dan juga Grassroots and Community Development Officer of Mumbai City Football Club yang sudah tergabung bersama kita dari India. Last but not least, ada Mr. Adam Lia as Premier Skills Head Coach from Premier League bergabung bersama kita dari Amerika. Sebelum itu kami juga mengundang Bapak Ibu baik yang hadir di tempat maupun yang bergabung secara online. Bila ada pertanyaan siapkan saja karena di akhir kita akan ada sesi Q&A atau tanya jawab. Jadi bisa langsung aja submit pertanyaannya di Slido yang telah dikirim di link masing-masing ya. Nanti akan kita bacakan di akhir setelah sharing session. Oke, baiklah, untuk mempersingkat acara langsung saja kita masuk ke sesi sharing yang pertama. Kita undang ada Ibu Dr. Papat Yunisal SPD MPD dan juga Ibu Soraya Farina Al-Hadar untuk memaparkan apa aja sih tantangan-tantangan sepak bola wanita di Indonesia dan bagaimana mengatasinya. Untuk Ibu Papat dan Ibu Farina, waktu dan tempat saya persilahkan.
Oke, terima kasih atas kesempatannya kepada MC. Juga pertama saya mengucapkan terima kasih, sangat bangga kepada para peserta yang kebetulan ada yang luring. Ada juga para peserta ini dari daerah, dari kota, provinsi, ada legend juga yang mengikuti secara online. Luar biasa. Juga ada Prof. Mulyana yang sudah hadir di tengah-tengah kita di di online. Dan di sini saya untuk memberikan sedikit saja dulu dari PSSI tentang apa yang sudah untuk dipaparkan tentang pengembangan sepak bola wanita di Indonesia. Dan Bu Soraya Farina, apa kabar? Terima kasih untuk sama-sama bergabung. Nanti akan banyak ilmu nih dari ASBWI, yang mana ASBWI walaupun baru beberapa tahun tapi gebrakannya sudah ke beberapa provinsi. Semoga nanti banyak ilmunya dan bisa di-share kepada teman-teman yang hadir. Di PSSI ini untuk pengembangan kami ada program, yaitu setiap tanggal 8 ini supaya semua tahu bahwa tidak hanya untuk membuat event, kita bisa membuat apa saja yang terkait dengan sepak bola wanita, bisa festival. Tanggal 8 Maret itu adalah Hari Sepak Bola Wanita. Nah, ini perlu dicatat, kami bisa gabung apa yang akan dibikin, kita nanti berkoordinasi. Nah, selanjutnya juga di acara sepak bola wanita ini kemarin ada program untuk mengunjungi pelatih yang telah punya nama membesarkan nama Indonesia juara 2 ya di Piala Asia, yaitu Bapak Muhardi. Nah, namun beberapa bulan ini sudah mendahului kita, semoga tenang di surga. Lainnya ada kursus kepelatihan C, dan kita mempunyai 50 pelatih Indonesia putri. Nah, ini karena regulasi nanti bahwa di tiap event itu ada regulasi bahwa harus ada asisten minimalnya putri 1. Jadi bagi provinsi nanti yang belum, silakan berkoordinasi ke kita, dan itu diadakan secara gratis ya, secara gratis, tidak ada bayar. Dan ada festival nanti, ini lebih jelasnya dan tepatnya Bu Farina yang ASBWI kerjasama selalu mengadakan festival untuk grassroots ke beberapa daerah dan membantu kita untuk nanti menjadikan beberapa pemain yang akan dipersiapkan beberapa tahun ke depan untuk timnas U16, timnas 19 dan senior. Lalu festival U12 Putri kemarin diadakan di beberapa provinsi. Nah, itu diantaranya untuk mengembangkan sepak bola wanita. Dan saat ini saya di PSSI itu sebagai tadi diulangi ketua sepak bola wanita di Departemen Teknik, dan ada juga di tengah kita ada Cici ya, Maulina yang kapten di Piala Asia India beberapa bulan yang lalu. Ada juga Piala Pertiwi. Nah, ini Piala Pertiwi yang terakhir kita laksanakan di 18 Maret tahun 2022 di Bandung. Nah, Piala Pertiwi ini kita baru diikuti 18 tim, cukup banyak, tapi kita punya target 34 provinsi bisa hadir semua, dan itu akan digelar di regional dulu, tidak langsung ke nasional. Kita juga beberapa kali dari tahun 2017 kerjasama dengan British Council, banyak ternyata para pelatih yang sudah mumpuni di British. Nah, ini akan kerjasama juga nanti bisa menjadi peserta untuk legalitas dengan regulasi dari PSSI, karena kalau dari praktek sudah cukup bagus, tinggal kita padukan apa yang aturan-aturan sehingga mereka bisa nanti membantu untuk pengembangan pemain sepak bola usia muda. Nah, selain itu kita juga nanti untuk kerjasama dengan UEFA, ada beberapa legend dan pimpinan klub sepak bola wanita yang kita undang di Senturi, bahkan British Council juga hadir. Nah, itu diantaranya pengembangan untuk sepak bola wanita, mungkin nanti beberapa hal masukan atau kita diskusi mana yang lebih baik untuk sepak bola wanita ke depannya. Itu mungkin dari PSSI sementara, nanti bisa ada pertanyaan menyusul. Silakan, terima kasih pada MC.
Baik, terima kasih untuk Bu Pap. Kita berikan tepuk tangannya. Selanjutnya langsung kita sambung ke Ibu Farina, mungkin yang sudah tergabung bersama kita via Zoom. Halo Ibu Farina, apa sudah siap? Sudah bersama kita saat ini?
Selamat sore. Ini saya minta maaf sebelumnya kalau sinyal saya hilang timbul. Kebetulan saya sedang menuju ke suatu tempat, mau kembali ke Jakarta.
Siap, aman Bu, tidak apa-apa. Baik Ibu Farina, waktu dan tempat saya persilahkan.
Iya, selamat sore Ibu dan Bapak sekalian. Ini senang sekali berada di sini meski melalui Zoom, tapi ini adalah kesempatan yang sangat berharga untuk ASBWI, untuk kami juga, saya juga secara personal. Ini adalah kegiatan keempat ya Bu Papat, kita PSSI bersama dengan British Council. Uh, Kalau dengan ASBWI-nya ini kegiatan kedua. Yang pertama itu di Bandung tahun 2022 yang lalu. Itu offline kegiatannya. Lalu yang di Bali bersama dengan PSSI itu juga offline ya. Jadi ini adalah kesempatan yang berharga untuk kita. Kita bisa brainstorming dan sharing knowledge juga tentang apa sih wanita di sepak bola, karirnya gimana sih, apa yang bisa kita perbuat agar wanita ini bisa benar-benar, kalau bahasanya beberapa kawan, setara dengan pria. Tapi kadang bagi kami di SBWI, bisa saja wanita lebih berprestasi di bidang sepak bola. Saya ingin tadi mengulas sedikit, tadi ada Bu Vivin Cahyani Songkono, anggota Exco PSSI, yang memberikan sambutan, ada juga dari British Council, Mr. Samersia, dan ini dari sambutan beliau-beliau kita bisa menarik salah satu poin bahwa wanita dalam sepak bola sudah tidak lagi menjadi second choice dalam berkarir di dunia sepak bola ini. Dan kawan-kawan tadi membahas tentang child safeguarding, tentang disabilitas, area grassroots, ini juga area yang sebenarnya juga dilakukan oleh ASBWI. Saya juga salam untuk Bu Papat Yunisal. Ini kalau Bu Papat ini partner in justice mungkin ya, karena sudah belasan tahun saya dibimbing oleh Bu Papat untuk area sepak bola. Bu Papat ini juga salah satu pendiri di ASBWI. Salam juga untuk Pak Sande. Saya lihat ada Pak Sande di sana. Mas Sande ini juga bagian dari ASBWI. Lalu ada Kak Cici, ada Katia Darti, saya lihat hadir secara online juga. Dan para peserta yang lainnya, yang mungkin saya belum kenal satu persatu, tapi saya harapkan
Ya, mungkin sedikit ada gangguan sinyal dari Ibu Farina. Mungkin kita tunggu sebentar. Reminder juga diingatkan kembali bagi teman-teman yang punya pertanyaan bisa langsung ketik ya di slide yang telah disiapkan sebelumnya untuk nanti kita bacakan di sesi Q&A.
iya. Ini tadi saya terputus ya?
Iya, Bu.
Iya, betul. Iya, minta maaf sekali. Jam 3 tadi seyogyanya ya, tapi memang karena aktivitasnya mundur, jadi saya terpaksa harus berpindah tempat. Ini bolehkah kalau saya lanjut atau gimana?
Boleh dilanjut, Bu.
Boleh dibantu untuk share-nya, share screen-nya?
Oke, untuk teman-teman panitia bisa dibantu.
Iya, sambil menanti kawan-kawan panitia. Jadi saya tidak tahu tadi saya terputus di mana, tapi saya diminta untuk share tantangan yang ada ketika kita mengembangkan sepak bola wanita di Indonesia, dan juga tantangan ketika kita membuka kesempatan seluas-luasnya untuk wanita berkarir di Indonesia. Dan ini bukan kalau namanya tantangan kan ini bagian dari kesempatan ya. Jadi kita menganggapnya tantangan ini adalah hal yang bisa menjadikan kita semakin kuat, semakin besar. Ini sambil menunggu kawan-kawan untuk bisa buka presentasinya. Tadi Bu Papat menyebutkan ada janji yang disebutkan oleh Bu Papat. Kita tunggu tanggal mainnya ya Bu Papat. Bu Papat ini selalu punya ide-ide yang ide-ide yang luar biasa. Salah satu yang tantangan yang pernah kita hadapi waktu itu bersama juga dengan Bu Papat itu adalah bagaimana kita bisa membawa timnas itu bermain di kompetisi internasional saat itu. Tapi apapun tantangannya, kita selalu selesaikannya itu dengan cinta ya, dengan kekeluargaan.
Baik, sambil menunggu mungkin kira-kira di
Ini
SBW
saya
ini,
yang ya,
di
saya saja yang
SBW ini
share.
ada,
Mungkin kalau kawan-kawan,
oh ya siap,
eh,
ini dia udah tampil.
iya, tantangan. Saya menyebutnya tantangan. Baik, ini em, kawan-kawan tadi melihat itu bukan video, bukan foto-foto tentang keberhasilan, bukan foto-foto tentang apa namanya timnas yang sedang bertanding atau bentuknya adalah workshop dan lain sebagainya. Itu adalah foto-foto belakang layar, foto-foto bagaimana di berbagai layer teman-teman yang saya yakin kawan-kawan semua yang hadir di sini juga merupakan bagian dari belakang layar tersebut. Orang-orang yang berusaha untuk melakukan yang terbaik apapun tantangannya disolusikan hingga kemudian hasilnya kita lihat. Karena banyak sekali kan orang melihatnya apa yang ada di televisi, apa yang ada di sosmed, apa yang ada di ketika kegiatannya berlangsung. Seperti misalnya hari ini kita ada kegiatan dengan British Council dan PSSI, maka ini yang kita lihat. Tapi belakang layarnya ada banyak sekali insan yang melakukan aksinya, melakukan berbagai kegiatan, tindakan untuk menghadapi tantangan-tantangan tersebut. Sehingga kemudian menghasilkan kegiatan yang kita nikmati bersama. Jadi tantangan ini, tadi saya sempat bilang bahwa ini adalah kesempatan, ini adalah opportunity untuk kita semua. Karena kalau nggak ada tantangan, kita nggak akan belajar dari kesalahan kita nggak akan tahu di mana celah untuk membuat ini menjadi lebih besar. Eh, saya boleh dikasih ke next slide-nya, Mas? Ini tadi Bu Papat sempat menyinggung dan teman-teman juga sempat membahas di forum diskusinya berbagai tantangan yang dihadapi. Ini adalah tantangan ketika ASBWI mau apa? ASBWI ini berdiri 2017. Ketika kita mau masuk ke next step-nya, kita mau mengembangkan wanita di sepak bola dan sepak bola wanita, kita harus tahu dulu kan tantangannya apa. Masalahnya apa nih di sini gitu. Nah, ini adalah yang kita identifikasikan semua. Tadi ada, kalau saya nggak salah, Mbak Putri ya dari Persib yang, atau satu lagi dari Humaniora ya kalau nggak salah, yang menyebutkan salah satu tantangannya adalah finansial. Kalau Mbak Putri tadi menyebutkan adalah salah satu tantangannya adalah bagaimana eh, wanita bisa berkarir di sepak bola. Itu adalah salah satu tantangan yang saya yakin, salah dua tantangan yang saya yakin kawan-kawan kita semua pernah mengalaminya. Kita tahu ini ada masalahnya dan kita nggak berhenti. Kita terus bergerak hingga kemudian, kalau boleh saya bilang, hingga kemudian sepak bola wanita ada di titik ini. Boleh Mas di next slide-nya. Nah, ini adalah timeline yang disepakati oleh ASBWI dan kemudian dan kita share juga ke PSSI, karena ASBWI ini, salah satu tantangan yang ada di ASBWI adalah masih ada pihak-pihak yang belum mempercayai bahwa ASBWI ini adalah bagian dari PSSI. Sebenarnya kegiatan ini adalah salah satu buktinya bahwa ASBWI ini adalah anaknya PSSI yang sah, yang ada untuk untuk membantu mensupport uh, ibunya, induknya PSSI. Kalau dalam hal ini ASBWI dalam hal sepak bola wanita dan wanita di dalam sepak bola. Ini adalah kerangka kerja, timeline-nya yang kita kerjakan. Dan di 2023 ini sudah akan ada kompetisi yang akan dilakukan. Kita akan start di bulan Agustus, bulan depan, dimulai dari kategori U15. Tadi Bu Papa sempat tanya, ada berapa ASBWI provinsi? ASBWI sekarang ini ada di provinsi mana aja, dan dijawab oleh Mbak Dewi, ada 30 ASBWI provinsi. Kenapa kita ada di berbagai provinsi? Dan itu setiap provinsinya bekerja aktif, bekerja sama dengan Asprof PSSI. Dengan adanya ASBWI provinsi, salah satunya juga kan membuka peluang karir untuk wanita. Karir untuk mereka ada di sepak bola. Dengan adanya perwakilan di masing-masing daerah, itu akan membuka berbagai kesempatan melakukan kegiatan. Dan di ujungnya, kalau Mas boleh next slide-nya, ini adalah target yang disepakati bersama bahwa timnas itu harus menjadi juara Asia di tahun 2038 dan masuk 30 besarnya. Ini masih belum diklik, Mas, maaf. Nah, 2038 kita ada di 30 besar dunia. Di tahun ini kayaknya ada salah ya. Sebenarnya di tahun 2023 itu adalah target kita masuk di U19 dan sampai dengan endingnya 2038 wanita sudah menjadi juaranya di level Asia. Dan tahun ini kita sudah masuk di semifinal U19 ketika yang bermain di Palembang. Tadi Bu Bapak sempat tanya, kenapa sih ada main 10 lawan 11 di pertandingan Indonesia lawan Thailand beberapa hari yang lalu. Saya tidak bicara tentang apakah ini sudah berhasil. Bukan. Konteksnya adalah bagaimana kita mensolusikan tantangan itu, bagaimana kita terus bergerak. Salah satu yang kita lakukan yang tadi kawan-kawan juga diskusikan itu adalah hal yang benar-benar real dan bermanfaat untuk kita, brainstorming. Karena brainstorming itu membuat kita tahu di mana titiknya kita lemah, di mana kita punya kekuatan. Yang teman kawan-kawan lakukan satu hari ini itu adalah hal yang kami juga lakukan di berbagai forum. Kita juga jadinya bisa melihat dari berbagai sudut pandang, kemudian menyusun langkah-langkahnya agar kita bisa mengambil action, lalu kita mulai dari langkah pertama, masuk ke langkah berikutnya, hingga kemudian kita berada di titik ini. Jadi, kawan-kawan, masukan-masukan dari kawan-kawan pasti tercatat dan tidak boleh berhenti di situ, karena setiap masukan adalah amanah yang harus dijalankan oleh setiap pihak yang terlibat. Mungkin dari saya itu dulu, Mas Aldi dan kawan-kawan. Question and answer-nya tentu bisa kita jalankan bersama. Kita mau bahwa wanita di sepak bola dan sepak bola wanita ini gaungnya harus menasional, bahkan mendunia. Kita mau fokus dan tidak boleh berhenti, karena ketika kita bicara tentang sepak bola, maka itu bukan hanya miliknya pria. Sepak bola adalah milik dari grassroots, wanita, dan setiap pihak yang ada di sepak bola itu sendiri. Terima kasih, Mas Aldi.
Terima kasih Ibu Farina, kita berikan aplaus yang besar untuk Ibu Farina. Tadi saya sedikit baca recap dari poin-poin yang sudah Ibu Papat dan Ibu Farina sampaikan. Tadi dari Ibu Papat sudah memaparkan beberapa program dari PSSI, ada kegiatan workshop dan festival di Hari Wanita Sedunia tanggal 8 Maret, lalu ada kursus lisensi dan juga kegiatan tim nasional yang akan segera dilaksanakan. Lalu dari Ibu Farina juga menyampaikan tadi, tantangan di sepak bola wanita pasti ada, tapi bagaimana kita menyikapinya. Kalau kita bekerja secara bersama-sama, meskipun itu tidak terlihat gitu ya di backstage, tapi pasti itu akan jadi kesempatan, suatu opportunity. Dan tantangan juga cukup banyak, tadi ada dari agama, budaya, dari sumber daya manusia juga, finansial, tapi pasti ada peluang atau potensi besar dari sepak bola wanita bila kita melihat tantangan itu sebagai opportunity. Dan terakhir tadi ada long term goal dari ASBWI, yaitu adalah membawa timnas wanita Indonesia menjadi juara Asia di tahun 2038. Okay, so we're now moving on to the next panel. I will invite Ms. Tanas Mohammed to share challenge faced by women to be involved in football and how to overcome them in India. A little bit background. Tanas is a head coach educator and coach Premier Skills since 2017 until now, and she holds level 1 coach educator and coach after successfully completing all 4 phases of Premier Skills. Now, Tanas works for Mumbai City Football Club as a grassroots and community development officer. So to Ms. Tanas, the spotlight is yours.
Thank you so much, and I just hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, clear.
Okay, so I think if you could start with my presentation, I'll just walk through the presentation and then connect with everyone. So that's just the brief of who I am. My name is Tanas Mohammed. I'm the head coach educator and coach with Premier Skills. And my current job role is the grassroots and community development officer with Mumbai City FC. It is an Indian Super League club based in India. Next. So about my journey, just to get more familiar with everyone here, I started as a hockey player. So I've been a professional hockey player all my life. And I had to make a transition from a hockey player to football, and that came only after my education. So that's where I've written the importance of education, because I did my sports management studies. After that, I got into football. Once I got into football, what I did was next is upgrade, because I think wherever you go, it's important to take your education and your experience, and it's important to upgrade. So I started upgrading, and in 2017, I was lucky enough to enroll myself with Premier Skills. I started as a coach, like all of you sitting there, and it was a great experience. Once I started my journey with Premier Skills, it helped me realize my potential as an individual, my strength, and what all I can do into this beautiful game. So 3.5 years down the line with Premier Skills, in 2019, I became the head coach educator. And since then, my journey has been amazing, because it helped me in a transition from being a hockey player to a head football coach, educator, and coach. And as I said, importance of education and upgrading, it's important to keep educating yourself on the way and upgrade yourself too. Next, I think in my journey, what is always important is, can we go to the previous slide, please? Learn, share knowledge, and implement. What I try to do since I have started my journey is, wherever possible, whichever workshops or education programs, online courses, everything possible. It's good to learn. It's a great opportunity. Learn, share your knowledge, and implement. Whatever you learn, try to implement it on ground, because that is what will help you grow. And then realizing the importance of role models. This particular point has played a very important role in my life, because I realized that being a role model, I could connect to a larger audience, and specifically to many women, little girls who are looking forward to make a career into sports. Awareness and exposure, main part of my journey has been around awareness and exposure, which I will explain to you in the next slide. Next one. So this is just a little bit of a background image of what I do and why I do it. So these are girls, these are different programs that I run for girls. One is me as a coach, training girls on field. One you can see is girls who are coming from a certain community, a Muslim community in India. And of course, they had a barrier that, how can we play football and we have to wear shorts. And it was quite a journey where, I tried to connect with all the girls, connect with mothers, let them know that football is about playing the sport and it's not about what you wear. So as you can see in the little image down there are girls who are wearing hijab, who are wearing shalwar kameez and playing football. And on the other hand, there are girls who are wearing proper footballing gear. But whatever you wear, that is not important. Playing the sport and being into the game is important. And that is the kind of barrier that we tried breaking through my work. So this is just a glimpse of the work that I do back in India. Next. So the right kind of work. Now, this is before we could start. The mothers, if you can see, are highlighted over here. They are all sitting and watching. And, they've always been, women and females have always been more or less spectators or the supporting staff or just trying to see what it is. But if you do the right kind of work, if you provide the right kind of platform and exposure, it can change to this. Next. This is what you see. The ones who were sitting are actually standing up. That is me in the center, training those mothers who were not into sports, who didn't do anything into sports or games, but they are ready to come out on field. They are ready to do some training. They are ready to do some exercises. So this is what right kind of work can do. If you can see on the other hand, there are mothers playing on an astroturf and they are also dressed as they want, but it is about them coming out and playing. And this is what right exposure and a role model theory does to you. It helps you connect and reach out to the larger audience, which was not tapped. So this is a brief idea of the kind of work I do. Next. Next, please. Yeah. So challenges faced by women in football. 7 years into football and I've played 20 plus years hockey. I think in football, what I have realized, the very first challenge is the age old thinking. The thinking that, oh, girls should not do this, girls should not do that. Okay, only boys can do this. Okay, only men can do that. I think that is one of the biggest challenges, is the thinking where it comes from. Then society made barriers. Even if we as individuals want to do something, or as women we want to do something, the society around us or the places that we live in at times have so many barriers that we tend to stop ourselves. We say that, oh no, I don't think I should do it because no one else is doing it. And what will others say? What will someone else say? Next is self-made barriers. This is more of a case with women because we have been so used to living in in conditions where, others tell us what is to be done, or, how should we go ahead. We tend to make barriers for ourselves. Like the image that we saw earlier, those little girls were not playing football because they thought football has to be played wearing only shorts and jersey. But when they realized that, they can wear shalwar kameez, they can wear their hijab and play football, it was a complete new image. So those are called self-made barriers. We at times tend to make so many barriers for ourselves, and that is one of the most challenges that we face here. Next is the doubt that is created but does not exist in reality. At times we tend to think there are so many doubts in our head, but it actually doesn't exist. Like we think, oh my God, can I go there and play? Or, are girls allowed here? Or this is going to happen that way. But when we go into the reality, it is nothing like that. So, doubts are also a challenge that we face. Biased practices is always about, okay, let the boys do this and then the girls will do it. Or talk about doing some camps some years back, and first the boys will play, next the girls will play. So till the time the girls get a turn, they are already lost of interest and they're not interested in it. So the bias practices, missing awareness. There is so much. The sport is, women's football is the fastest growing sport in the world. And there is so much awareness still missing, like countries like India, Indonesia, There is so much awareness missing. Girls still do not know that they can make a successful career into football. There are so many roles. If they want to become doctors, they do not have to leave the sport. They can become doctors and still be associated to the sport. And there are so many awareness platforms that are still missing. Limited platform for exposure. Now, this is a very fruitful platform that Premier Skills has created because we are able to connect. But this is not available on a larger picture. That's why I say limited platform for exposure. Not every female in the country knows that, oh, something like this is happening. And these are the challenges that I feel are very, very, very challenging that are faced by women in football. Next. Now, ways to overcome the challenges. To overcome these challenges, first is teach them young. You teach them when they are little girls. So if you have seen the pictures that I showed you, there are many little girls who came. And when you teach them young, they tend to learn from it that, oh no, I can also do it. Because while they are young and you are a grown up, you tend to literally show them the way. Next is give equal tasks and responsibilities. Let age be the deciding factor and not gender. So while we are doing an activity, like as coaches, now most of you are coaches over there, coach educators, even when you train your kids, let it be a mix of girls and boys together. Give them tasks based on their age, not gender. Boys will do 5 touches, girls will do 10 touches. No, don't. If boys are doing 5, let girls also do 5. Let them face that responsibility. Let them be that accepting enough, and let their age be the deciding factor. Next is same and equal opportunities. If boys are going to train for 20 minutes, let the girls also train for 20 minutes. Maybe they train side by side. Do not take opportunities away from one set of group and put it to the other. Just make sure that you're giving same and equal opportunities. Teaching them to respect each other, using football as a tool. Football as a sport can be so much more than only 11 people playing a professional match. Football can be utilized for social issues. Football can be utilized for life skills, for respecting each other. And that is a main tool. When you let girls, young girls and boys, little girls and boys play together, they learn to respect each other. They learn to see each other equally. When we give them equal tasks, we give them equal opportunities, they learn to respect their presence. And that is very important. Motivating mixed gender play. Creating a comfortable and approachable environment. Very, very, very important. As a woman in football, it is very important that you create a comfortable environment where people are feeling connected to you, where little girls, where women, even if they have the slightest discomfort or issue, they feel approachable enough towards you. They feel comfortable to come and share. And that itself will help you overcome many challenges where you are being comfortable, you are being approachable, and let them have a knowledge sharing platform, an idea sharing platform with you. Motivating mixed gender play. Very, very, very important. We always tend to do girls this side, boys this side, girls this side, boys this side. And by doing that, we always take away a lot of opportunity, a lot of responsibility. While they are young, let them learn how to play. Let girls also learn how to be tough. Let girls learn to play against boys and how they can be tough against those boys. Focused work with girls in order to create awareness and comfort. I think this is very, very, very important because as much as we have to work as group and mixed gender, we have to do a lot of focused work with girls. Reach out to communities, reach out to, if you know that there is a certain community, there is a bunch of females, but they do not have the awareness. Reach out to them, use your journey, use your work as inspiration for them, create that awareness, let them feel comfortable around it. Understanding female growth cycle. Very important as a coach educator, or someone who is at an authoritative position in football. Female growth cycle is very, very, very special, very, very, very important. So we as coaches or coach educators have to consider that there is a time when a girl is growing. There is a time where girls, the body changes, the requirements of the body changes, the hormonal cycle changes, everything changes. And as coaches, if we want to work and make sure that women stay connected to the sport, we have to learn how to understand the female growth cycle, because this is that turning point when many young girls tend to leave the sport because they do not know how to go ahead with it. And last is role model. I think you as an individual, you as a female, if you can do something, use your journey, use your examples to connect with other females out there who've not done anything. Let them know that if you can be out there, do something, even they can do it. A role model theory really helps you connect to more and more people. Next. This is just a picture that I really connect. And if you can read, the first one says, they used to tell me, you are too strong for a girl. I will always be strong to live my life. The next one again, they used to tell me, you dress and walk like a man. I realized they feared me because they could see my strength. They used to tell me, women stay at home, but I started playing and it changed my life forever. They used to tell me, you have too many muscles for a girl, but I am proud of my powerful body. And this is something that you all should take forward along with your learning. Football or playing football or working in football is not going against anything. You can take your culture, you can take your learning, you can take where you come from and be a part of this beautiful game and grow others and help others grow in this game. Next. And just to share with you all the kind of work what happens back in India when we talk about the All India Football Federation. So we have our national teams. We have 4 national teams. That's our senior team, the under 19 team, the under 17 team, and the under 15 team. So these are the 4 national teams that the Indian Football Federation has. Next is the national state level championships that we have. So there are different age groups that are tapped. We have the Senior Women's League, that is a national football championship. Then we have the Junior Girls National Football Championship, Hero Sub Junior Girls. So we cover sub juniors, juniors, and seniors. The national club competitions, there is a different league called as the Hero Indians Women League, where all the clubs in the country, women's club in the countries, they participate in it. So when you see, the states and associations are taken care of, and the clubs in the country are also taken care of. And last is development. Development, a very small word, but the biggest area to work in, because that is where major work happens when we talk about grassroots community. It all comes here. We talk about the Blue Cubs League. It is a league that is started only specifically targeting grassroots. So anything to do under 12s, under 10s, under 8s, under 6, even under 4s comes under that. There is coach education. In India, we have a licensing structure that we follow, very, very, very helpful. We start from D license going to D, C, B, A, Pro. Then we have goalkeeping license, we have scouting license, and there is a formal coaching education in India. Referee education. Again, as coaches, there is a lot of emphasis placed on referees also, and we do make sure that the referees are also being upgraded. Scouts and grassroots. Scouts are people who go around and look for talents, and now it is a budding industry. It is, of course, it is very important to develop talent in your country. It is important to have scouts because they're the right kind of people who have the right kind of talent. And grassroots. Grassroots is anything and everything to do when it comes to under 12s or women or people or girls playing football for the first time. It is the major chunk. This is something that helps you build culture in your country for the game. This is where it helps you build the talent, and this is where it helps you do the main amount of work, because this is where the parents, the kids, the bigger ecosystem lies here. So if you do the right kind of work at your grassroots to make your base strong, then when you grow further, you will be able to achieve further success. And yes, that's my time. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Tanas, and let's give big applause for Tanas Mohammed. Okay, allow me to recap your points in bahasa or Indonesian. Jadi tadi Tanas itu juga sebelumnya adalah main hoki ternyata. Sebelum dia akhirnya pindah ke jadi pelatih, dia belajar dulu, kuliah lagi, terus dia perdalam lagi, dia ilmu-ilmunya dia perdalam. Tapi tidak hanya dia belajari, tapi juga dia sharing dan dia implementasikan ke yang lain. Sehingga dia bisa menjadi sebuah role model yang bagus untuk junior-juniornya. Lalu ada beberapa challenge atau tantangan yang dihadapi oleh wanita di India ternyata tidak jauh berbeda dengan yang terjadi di Indonesia. Ada dari faktor eksternal, ada age-old thinking, jadi ada image yang melekat kalau wanita nggak begitu cocok di sepak bola, ada barrier dari society juga di masyarakat, dan juga ada faktor internal seperti self-bias dan juga keraguan dari diri sendiri. Tapi tadi Tanas juga menjelaskan bagaimana untuk mengatasi tantangan tersebut. Ada perlunya equal responsibilities atau equal opportunities, kesempatan yang sama untuk semua, untuk nggak terbatas lewat gender. Lalu juga pentingnya untuk menciptakan lingkungan yang nyaman bagi wanita untuk bermain sepak bola. Yang terakhir juga sepak bola digunakan sebagai alat untuk mempelajari rasa respect untuk pemain yang lain. Dan terakhir pentingnya sebuah role model untuk membina atau menunjukkan hal-hal positif bagi junior-juniornya di sepak bola. Okay, thank you so much, Tanas. And now we're moving on to our next panels. We have Adam Lia. Adam, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Adam. Adam is from US. He's in US right now, so 12 hours difference, pretty early for you, I guess.
Just a little bit early.
All right, over to you, Adam. We're ready when you are.
Thank you very much. And firstly, thank you very much to everybody for having me today. I do apologize if I'm a little bit slow because it's very early here in the United States, because we are currently delivering a number of courses to young coaches and children as well. So firstly, it's great to see so many familiar faces, albeit digitally or actually in the room present. There's some fantastic people that I've worked with previously, and it was great to actually listen to Tanaz as well. So Tanaz, great to actually see you again. Could I have my presentation, please? So Indonesia, first and foremost, has been an incredible journey from a Premier Skills perspective, from the Premier League and British Council aspect. There has been some incredible lessons learned from Indonesia when we started our Premier Skills journey, and the lessons that we've learned. So if I could have the bullet points, please. So first and foremost, what we did discover with Indonesia, and like any country that we deliver a Premier Skills from best practice delivery from a UK perspective, is that very, very quickly the passion, desire for development of football in the country was very obvious to see. And one of the most encouraging signs that we did observe from this was the mixture of female and male participation within the country. Next slide, or next point, please. Now, female engagement were really encouraging. And it was interesting to listen to some of the points from our previous speakers, because initially on a course like this, there was very high levels of anxiety and apprehension from our female participants. And it was an awful long time to try and break down those barriers around possibly what people's perceptions were stereotypically with female participation in sport, and in this case in football. But what I found so encouraging from Indonesia was that all of the participants on the course that we delivered, male and female, were so accommodating of each other and wanted to support each other's development and learning journey. And from our perspective, when we deliver a course of this nature, that makes our lives so much more easier. Next bullet point, please. So where I say that there was a great support network in place during our Premier Skills courses, what we also learned was actually the innovation and creativity that was demonstrated by Premier Skills coaches was one of the best that we've seen across the globe. And as you saw in the video at the beginning, delivering football sessions on the beach. I mean, what a place to bring the game, to engage participants of all different backgrounds and natures using a setting like that, this goes to show that actually sport can be used in a number of different ways and a number of different formats. Now, the important thing to stress on this, and I know that a number of people in the room and online digitally, Premier Skills are not necessarily about developing and giving you new sessions to deliver. What Premier Skills does is looks at the fundamentals behind sessions and works with the people, because without the people, you can't deliver structured sessions. You can have the structure, you can have the itinerary, you can have the session plan, but without the right people delivering, the session may not be a success. And that is what Premier Skills is all about. Next slide. So grassroots element is very important, because without grassroots, this is the very first stage in which we see young people predominantly take their first development steps within football. And this is something that, where I talk about the people, is possibly the most important. Now, if I said to you and asked you a question currently, think back to when you were at school. We can remember a long, long way back, and we remember not what we were taught, but who we worked with and the people that we worked with. And that is why grassroots development is so important in this nature. That is why when a coach from a Premier Skills perspective leaves a session, the young people that they've been delivering to leaves with exactly the same mindset. They take away the experience. They take away that thoughts and those feelings that they've had. And those thoughts and feelings will live with them from a long time. And that's what we saw very, very early with our participants in Indonesia, is we had so many fantastic characters that brought so much diversity and brought their own experiences to their learning journey, that it made our lives an awful lot easier. Next slide. So what are the differences that we found in conducting our Premier Skills Indonesian journey in comparison to other countries? Now, to put it into perspective, as you know, I'm in the United States at the moment, but I've delivered in 18 different countries around the world on this program. And the beauty of the program is that, in a way, there is an awful lot of similarities. And that's why you have a speaker and sort of the knowledge and experience of somebody like Tanaz, who was on the call today, that there are an awful lot of similarities with some of the components. And that makes our lives an awful lot easier, because football is a global language. You don't have to change too much of it to make it work. But what I would say with regard to the differences that we discovered in Indonesia is geographical location can make delivery very difficult because of the land structure. It can create problems with time zones, with traveling time, and trying to maintain that level of communication amongst our Premier Skills coaches from a logistical perspective can be a real challenge. And I have to say that the participants on our Premier Skills journey in Indonesia were fantastic. They came from far and wide to embrace and engage with the content. And also from a British Council perspective, the logistical and operational planning that went on behind the scenes was so encouraging, and it makes the participants' lives an awful lot easier. Now, all of those elements combined does require one thing, and it's the last element. It needs to have a progressive mindset and approach for football development. If having a fixed mindset and going into a program like this, change will either not happen or will take a significantly long time to do so. Now, what we discovered with our participants especially was there was this progressive mindset, a growth mindset in which a real desire for change was there. And nobody was afraid to step forward. Nobody was afraid to shy away from looking at a problem and trying to find a solution. And that is something that I think the Indonesia Premier Skills coaches and the team as a whole have demonstrated since the very first day of the course and to the point of where we are now. And that's a legacy piece that will take time. And I suppose the best saying that I can create around this is that the Premier Skills coaches are basically planting trees for the future generation, knowing that those trees that they are planting they will never have the opportunity to sit in that shade. So those trees that they are planting are for many future generations. It takes time. And these are the first people that are taking those progressive steps and developing and supporting new people in their sports journey. And that's something that we've not had to drive and really kind of take the bull by the horns and ensure that they do it. It's something that they want to do. And we will always encourage that. It's an Indonesian approach. Next slide, please. So the support system in supporting women in football. Now, there's a lot of similarities with sort of the global aspects of the game. So if we could have the bullet points, that would be appreciated. So I'm going to look at this in a number of different ways. I'm going to look at this from a coach's perspective, but also from a participant perspective as well. So it's an opportunity for coaches to practice their skills and knowledge in a practical and planning setting. The more that is done, the more that can happen. So the less that is done, it will ultimately mean that certain things could stagnate. And that's where I go back full circle to the people that we have on the system. The coaching network that has been established in Indonesia, and also with the attendance that you can see here today, and also representation from other countries wanting to support the Indonesian development system, is something that we are very supportive of. But also it goes to show that the global aspect of Premier Skills especially is something that, and I'm using Tanaz as an example, that we want to support each other. We want to support each other from a country perspective, to develop each other. And that helps improve us as people, and also helps improve what we're delivering on a consistent basis. Now, opportunities for young people is something that we have to continually work at. And I don't think it's ever going to be something that we can perfect, but it's very, very relevant to the country that we operate in. So to support women in football, we need to look at the grass levels, look at those first steps that these people are taking. And when we say grassroots, I think the assumption is always that it's children or young people, but grassroots could be parents. It could be people that have just experienced football for the first time, but they might be in their 30s, their 40s, or their 50s. But that grassroots element, the basic fundamental element, is the most important, because if the grassroots element is not addressed, then our participants will never, ever take the next step. And that's what we need to do with supporting women in football from a participant perspective. Competitive opportunities as well that are fun and inclusive, that we provide competition, but we do it in a way in which focuses on inclusive engagement in sport, not being focused and obsessed by the results that might be produced in a game, because the results are secondary. The competitive nature gives people an opportunity, or young people an opportunity, to test their knowledge, to test their skills, to see what they need to work on. And it helps our coaches as well to see where they can support. And we need to provide, especially women and females in football, the opportunity to compete more, to test their ability, to see where they're at, and do that in an inclusive way. And the final element that always comes down to that is providing people with opportunity to explore new avenues and approaches. And funding is part of that. People or organizations behind the scenes taking a step back, looking at what is being done from a community grassroots aspect and buying into that, giving the people with the knowledge, so the Premier Skills coaches or football coaches generally, the opportunity to demonstrate how they can be creative and innovative to increase participation in sport, and predominantly football. And that's something that we can't facilitate, the coaches can't facilitate, but they can only demonstrate through their knowledge and experience. And we all need to work together to try and develop that aspect. And all of these bullet points here will provide greater support for female participation, not only from a playing perspective, but what we'll also have is, as Tanaz mentioned in her presentation, a role model, people that young people can look up to, role models, and see female coaches and also see male coaches that are embracing and encouraging female participation. And that's really, really important in ensuring that we create that legacy, that these participants, these young players, as they grow and as they develop, take that step into coaching themselves so that they can then work with the next generation. And that's all of this is vitally important in ensuring not only impact, but sustainability in what we do and how we do it. And from my perspective, it's something that I am incredibly humbled by, to see, I suppose, the huge steps that have been taken in a relatively short period of time, and even in consideration with the COVID pandemic as well, infringing on some incredible steps towards progression, and then carrying on that progression after the COVID pandemic moved to the side. If this amount of impact and change has happened in this short period of time, imagine what can continue to happen over the years with everybody that's on this call and in that room from a presentation perspective. So I just want to say, I believe that's my last slide. It was one more slide, I think, at the end. So next slide, please. I just want to say, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. I really appreciate you working with me on this journey, because those participants that I work with in Indonesia especially were absolutely incredible, dedicated, passionate people. And these people can make significant change in football development as a whole. So thank you very much. And if there's any questions, which I believe we're going to go to a group discussion now with the other speakers, then please do not hesitate to ask.
Okay, thank you so much for Adam. Let's give big applause for Adam. Jadi Adam ini adalah pelatih dari Premier League yang sebelumnya jadi pelatih Premier League Indonesia ternyata, tapi juga di beberapa negara lain. Terus tadi dia lihat kalau di Indonesia tuh banyak hal menarik dari anak-anaknya. Ada punya passion, punya keinginan kuat untuk bermain, terutama untuk female, dan ada female engagement. Tadi katanya disebutkan juga anak-anaknya tuh sangat berinisiatif. Mereka nggak malu untuk bertanya, mereka nggak malu untuk mencoba suatu hal yang baru, dan itu menurut dia hal yang bagus. Lalu perbandingan dengan negara-negara lain sepertinya tidak terlalu banyak perbedaan, hanya perbedaan geografis saja yang menjadi tantangan untuk melakukan kegiatan Premier Skills di Indonesia. Tapi poin plusnya, mindset dan pendekatan yang sangat progresif dari peserta dan juga coach yang berani untuk bertanya, berani untuk berinovasi, itu dihargai sekali tadi oleh Adam disebutkan. Dan yang terakhir adalah pentingnya support system. Support system yaitu berupa kesempatan yang sama untuk pelatih-pelatih untuk mempraktekkan dan men-sharing ilmu yang telah dia dapat, dan juga untuk anak-anak mudanya untuk lebih bisa terlibat sejak grassroots dengan pendekatan yang inklusif dan menyenangkan. Okay, that's all from our panelists today. So let's give big applause to our three panelists. Sekarang kita akan masuk sesi Q&A, dan tadi sudah ada beberapa pertanyaan yang masuk. Boleh ditampilkan. Ya, ini tadi ada beberapa pertanyaan yang masuk, tapi kita hanya pilih 3 pertanyaan karena keterbatasan waktu. Mohon maaf sebelumnya. Pertanyaan pertama mungkin dari Dian Nadia dari Akademi Persib, ditunjukkan ke Ibu Papat. Bu, apa sih yang harus dilakukan untuk mengubah paradigma sepak bola wanita? Karena paradigmanya wanita tidak pantas berolahraga karena tantangan itu nyata sekali dan cukup sering terjadi. karena sepak bola masih identik dengan maskulinitas hingga adanya persepsi yang menimbulkan bias gender. Kira-kira bagaimana tanggapannya Bu untuk paradigma tersebut? Dipersilakan untuk Ibu Papat menjawab.
Pertanyaan yang sangat bagus ini ya, mungkin ini untuk pembelajaran semuanya dan bagi saya juga karena saya berkecimpung di sepak bola dari mulai 1979 ya. Jadi bukan makan asam garam aja ya, pedas pun banyak dimakannya. Jadi untuk menghapus paradigma itu bahwa kita harus menunjukkan, dan ini tidak instan ya untuk menghilangkan paradigma yang dipertanyakan Saudari Dian tadi, dan kesatu tunjukkan bahwa keseriusan kita untuk berkecimpung di bidang sepak bola ini. Kedua, juga prestasi yang penting ya, karena apa? Kita kan bahwa latihan, bahwa kita ikut andil di bidangnya itu adalah yang diperlukan prestasi. Ya. Walaupun memang saya bekerja sama tidak hanya dengan untuk olahraga prestasi, tapi untuk bagaimana perempuan ini bisa berkecimpung di dalam olahraga atau menghindari beberapa kasus ya. Tapi yang terpenting untuk kita bisa menuju ke level yang terbaik, walaupun memang sampai saat ini masih banyak tantangan dan masih banyak hal-hal yang perlu kita hindari ya, kita lalui. Jadi atlet sepak bola itu tidak merubah gender ya untuk sebagai wanita, dan kita juga harus menunjukkan bahwa di lapangan ini ya, kita harus tunjukkan teknik, skill lebih dari laki-laki kalau mampu. Namun harus diingat keluar dari lapangan bahwa kita adalah perempuan ya, perempuan yang bisa dilihat, wah ini kok di lapangan nggak seperti dia di luaran ya, di luaran kok dia bagaimana menunjukkan bahwa didukung dan lain-lain. Nah, ini tentunya dengan adanya kerjasama dari British, kerjasama SBWI, karena kita banyaknya pulau, bahkan ada salah satu event yang diadakan diperuntukkan bagi juara-juara di regional. Ternyata tidak bisa hadir yang salah satu regional, saya tidak sebutkan daerahnya. Karena apa? Karena itu katanya melawan kodrat. Ini masih ada, ini tugas saya juga ini untuk menghindari hal-hal yang demikian. Jadi satu lagi mungkin pendidikan ya. Karena segala sesuatu sebagusnya bagaimana prestasinya kita, bagaimana kita berhadapan dengan siapa, semua kalangan yang bisa, dari kalangan pendidikan, kalangan olahraga, kalangan keluarga, itu mungkin yang perlu kita rubah dan perlu kita belajar untuk bagaimana kesiapan kita di kala menghadapi tantangan. Lawan dengan yang positif, apa yang kita mampu, jangan diada-ada. Itu sementara dari saya, terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih Ibu Papat, kita berikan tepuk tangan atas jawaban Ibu Papat. Sangat menarik sekali ya. Ternyata boleh di luar kita mungkin wanita berperilaku seperti wanita, tapi di lapangan semuanya sama ya Bu ya. Oke. Baik, untuk pertanyaan selanjutnya tadi untuk Ibu Papat, kita coba cari untuk Tanas. Ada pertanyaan, there's a question for you Tanas from Naima. So what's the approach that your football club to encourage grassroots to join football? And also, does your club has particular approach to approach girls into foot? So please, Tanas, whenever you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. So the main encouragement to join grassroots football, I think it's about showing the kind of opportunity that is available. So if we are doing work in the grassroots, why are we doing it? There are two main factors to it. One is the professional development of the grassroots. Next is the community and the societal development, and utilizing football for development and football development. So when we talk about the professional approach, that is where these kids who participate in the grassroots activities can then become a part of the youth structure. From the youth structure, they go to the elite. That is the professional approach. When we talk about the second approach, that is more of the community approach, or say the societal development approach, where they are into the ecosystem of football, and football is used as a development tool. So, making careers out of football, educating through football. So when we want them to come to grassroots, it is about providing them and showcasing them the opportunities, the exposure, the vast options that are available into the game. And that is one of the key roles that we try to do. So it only starts with a ball and say 10 kids, and we just let them have fun. We let them get that experience of playing football and slowly try to educate them, slowly try to educate the ecosystem. I think in grassroots development, one of the major factors is also parent education, because in grassroots, when we talk about kids, it is important to make parents understand what the kids are going through, what the kids are going to learn, how does their development look. And when we talk about the other side of grassroots, that is anyone from any age playing the sport for the first time, giving them, and if we talk about young adults or individuals who are grown up, and if they want to make a career into sports, so showing them that what is the platform available, how they can make a career into sports. So that is the approach that we as a club take. And when we try to cover both sides of it in grassroots, or when we talk about kids, we conduct a lot of leagues, we conduct festivals, we conduct one-day clinics, we conduct workshops, coach education, parent education. When we talk about young adults who are new to the game, we conduct exposure programs, we conduct educational programs, and that is the approach that the club follows. When it comes to women, of course, we always try to make sure that there are equal opportunities provided to women and men in the game. And when we talk about an approach to women, we do tend to do special activities. Say on a Mother's Day, we like to call mothers who are always at the background of activities. We like to call them on field, give them an opportunity to play, because when the mothers come, that's when they feel, oh no, I can put my daughter, because that's the kind of exposure she will get. We try to reach out to young females who are trying to figure out what they can do, like say a career in sports, but they do not have the awareness. So we create exposure programs for them. So this is the kind of approach that we as a club tend to follow, and try to cover the larger aspects of the community, of the grassroots, and try to develop the entire ecosystem as a whole.
Thank you so much, Tanas. That was a very complete answers. So give big applause to Tanas. Jadi tadi kata Tanas tuh kalau di India ada dua jenis perlakuan atau pendekatan untuk anak-anak perempuannya. Satu lewat program profesional, jadi itu kurang lebih sama dari grassroots, kita dilatih untuk naik ke level profesional. Satu lagi adalah pendekatan community based. Jadi ini lebih dikembangkan adalah bagaimana anak itu dapat berlatih sepak bola dan menggunakan sepak bola sebagai platform untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidupnya di masa datang. Terus tadi diketekankan lagi pentingnya grassroots dan pentingnya orang tua untuk sadar bahwa di grassroots itu bukan hasil yang dicari tapi adalah development. Dan anak-anak itu menyukai untuk bermain sepak bola terlebih dahulu. Dan terakhir juga exposure dan role model yang penting bagi pemain wanita. Oke, untuk next question, pertanyaan selanjutnya kita cari untuk Adam. Mungkin bisa ke bawah. Oh ya ada, itu situ yang pertama. So Adam, there's a question for you from Jenny. So aside from ICC program, what kind of program that Premier League has to promote women's football in UK or other countries?
Yeah, so with regard to that question, from a Premier League perspective internationally, the ICC program is the program that we lead with. The reason why we don't diversify in our female programs internationally is because I think it's a mistake for us to go into countries and tell people and stifle creativity on how programs can be used to engage in localized communities from that country. All the ICC program does is just helps develop the people so that they can go and deliver the program or a program of their design and choosing in which they can encourage and develop engagement in female participation in sport. That's the thing that we want to work on, because we appreciate that although there's a number of different countries around the world and football is a global language, we don't want to be the ones that will go in and tell each country how things should be done. And I think that goes to demonstrate with what Tanaz has said in India, and from her club perspective, is they have not, those are ideas and initiatives that have not been driven by the Premier League. They might be observations that have been delivered in the UK from a Premier League perspective. And all Tanaz and other representatives around the world are doing is learning lessons of best practice, tweaking, adapting it, and then delivering it in a way that suits the market in which they're delivering. So our focus is to deliver the ICC, which develops the coaches and the people in the program so that they can then go back into their localized communities and work effectively from that perspective. So that's what we look to do. What we also do is when we are in countries around the world, we do look to provide a support mechanism. So we are that, I suppose, the ears in which we listen to ideas and then provide expertise, advice, and guidance in what may work, what might not work so well, and what considerations may need to be taken in delivering certain programs. But the ICC program is just that first introductory step that can be taken on that female participation journey. And then what we just want to do is encourage each country and all of the coaches to take that next step after the ICC. How do they create sustainable development in female participation? So in answer to your question, the ICC program is an international program that we deliver globally, and we adapt it ever so slightly to each country. But that is the first step towards developing female participation and engagement. And then it's over to the countries to come up with innovative, new, bespoke programs that can be delivered to encourage and develop female participation. And as I said, we are there to listen. We are there to provide advice and guidance. And that's where it comes to the full circle of being that network to support coaches and communities with advice and guidance on what may or may not work.
Okay, thank you so much, Adam. So tadi poinnya adalah ICC ini adalah langkah awal bagi anak-anak atau pesertanya dididik, kemudian diharapkan setelah mengikuti ICC bisa kembali ke komunitasnya dan men-sharing ilmu yang sudah didapat, transfer ilmu, sehingga tercipta di depan partisipasi yang lebih banyak dari wanita-wanita di Indonesia. Dan penerapannya ternyata juga tidak melulu sama, berbeda-beda, disesuaikan tergantung dengan karakter dari peserta dan negara masing-masing. Jadi ya itu tiga pertanyaan yang sudah kita pilih, dan ada Oke. Kita sudah memilih tiga penanya tadi, dan ada hadiah menarik untuk tiga penanya tadi. Untuk Mbak Nadia dari Akademi Persib, dipersilakan untuk maju menerima hadiah kenang-kenangan dari Premier Skills. Oh ya. Ya, tahan sebentar. Dapat bola dari Premier League loh ini. Dan untuk dua penanya yang tergabung via online nanti kita akan menghubungi ya. Akan kita hubungi, jangan khawatir. Oke. So, kita sudah mendekati akhir acara, tapi sebelum kita menuju akhir acara, I would like to invite Miss Marta Brikova to give a closing remarks. So, please welcome Miss Marta Brikova.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you for having me today. It was a lovely morning for the UK. I'm joining you from the UK. So it was an exciting opportunity to listen to everyone. I first of all would like to thank everyone, of course, my team in Indonesia, but also our long-standing partners, the Football Association of Indonesia, PSSI, the Indonesian Women's Football Association, who are here today, and also Ministry of Youth and Sports, number of universities and non-governmental organizations that we've been working with over many years. And of course, Tanaz, Mohammed, and Adam, who have joined us today, and who have, particularly Adam, has seen the journey that Premier Skills has taken in Indonesia. I have only joined Premier Skills 6 months ago, so I don't have the advantage of being able to reflect on the progress, but hearing from all the participants, from the partners, from Adam, from Tanaz as well, I leave with feeling that the program is leaving community football in Indonesia in very good hands. There are clearly many passionate advocates for using sports and football in particular as a force of good. We have focused today on empowerment of women and women's role in football, but also football and Premier Skills as a program aim wider women's participation and gender equality in football is one of the key areas, but we've also focused on other disadvantaged, marginalized groups, as you will know very well in Indonesia, because you have worked with disabled communities, you have worked with marginalized communities who don't have that many opportunities, and it's amazing to see that Premier Skills program has provided this platform for discussion. It has been mentioned a couple of times today, and as Tanaz mentioned, football is an amazing tool for change. I think Adam said it's a global language, and that is the key point of the Premier Skills program. It is a tool that can be used for a huge positive change, be it to equalize women's role in football or outside of football in society, but also to break religious barriers, break through cultural barriers sometimes. And as Adam again mentioned, football is about people, and Premier Skills is about people. So the legacy of the program will remain with you, with the partner organizations, and with coach educators and coaches who've gone through the years of training, and the referees as well, I should mention. Also, there are some material points of legacy, such as the training materials that can be used. But again, going back to the point of people, it is the knowledge and the skills you have developed and you have disseminated over the years and will hopefully continue disseminate. That is the people, and that's the biggest treasure and the biggest legacy of the program. So a massive thank you to everyone for participating here and for being involved and engaged in the Premier Skills program over the years. I wanted to add that Premier Skills program is not ending as a global program. You can continue following it on our Premier Skills websites, which colleagues will share the links to. You can also follow what's happening on the Premier Skills Twitter or Facebook, the social media. And a small reminder to our coaches and coach educators is that please do stay in touch with Premier Skills team through the Team Talk site where you can register, and you will continue to have access to the learning and training materials and to your badges so that you can get the most up-to-date information. You can continue being linked with others. As we've heard today, being connected to others and supporting each other is a big part of trying to achieve any change. The changes that we're trying to achieve through the program in perceptions of women in football or of a football as such are not changes that will happen overnight. It's something that happens through almost a generation, I think. And that's why it's important to, as Tanaz mentioned, to work with youth, to give them the opportunity, to give them a chance to work together as boys and girls, where they see each other equally. They won't see differences, and they will learn to respect each other, including the differences between the genders. So with that last note, once again, thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure to seeing you all. I have very good feelings about women's football and grassroots football and community football in Indonesia going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marta, for your message, which was and very encouraging to keep learning and improving knowledge and our skills. Sekarang sebelum ditutup, kita ada sesi foto bersama lagi seperti tadi sebelumnya. So we will have a picture together for Marta, Tanas, Adam, dan Ibu Farina. Dan buat teman-teman yang tergabung via Zoom, mungkin bisa dinyalakan kameranya. Untuk teman-teman yang di ruangan bisa menghadap ke sebelah sana lagi, menuju kameramen. Okay, let's take pictures together again. Oke, kalau saya bilang cheese, semuanya senyum ya. 1, 2, cheese. Lagi 1, 2, cheese. Oke. One, two, cheese. Oke, terima kasih semuanya. Kita sudah menuju akhir acara. Atas nama seluruh panitia, I would like to give our deepest appreciation to all panelists and all webinar participants. Thank you so much for your support and participation. Di akhir kata, dengan semua tantangan yang ada untuk sepak bola wanita, kita percaya sepak bola wanita punya potensi untuk tumbuh lebih jauh lagi. Dan diharapkan di masa depan akan lebih banyak wanita bisa terlibat dan berpartisipasi di sepak bola. Kalau saya bilang sepak bola wanita, semuanya bilang jaya ya. Sepak bola wanita. Jaya. Sepak bola wanita. Jaya. Sepak bola wanita. Jaya. Terima kasih semuanya. Selamat sore. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye semuanya.
Terima kasih banyak Mas Aldi, para narasumber semuanya, teman-teman yang udah hadir di sini, Bapak Ibu, adik-adik, teman-teman. British Council menyediakan makan malam dan sudah ready juga di lantai 2, jadi nggak perlu turun ke resto bawah. Nanti ada di sebelah kiri, keluar pintu ke kanan. Iya, jadi silakan yang mungkin belum keburu sholat asar bisa sholat dulu, nanti silakan langsung menikmati hidangan makan malamnya. Ya, terima kasih banyak semuanya. Sampai jumpa di lain waktu. Nanti untuk alat interpretasinya silakan tinggalkan aja di meja ya. Nanti biar tim dari Bahasa Global yang akan pick up. Terima kasih semuanya.